In this discussion, let us talk about the taxability of remuneration paid to directors. I have divided this entire segment into three subsegments. Now, let us see the first subsegment, which is directors who are broadly classified as employee directors and non-employee directors. So that possibility is always there. A director can be an official employee of the company, and he can also not be an employee of a company and still be a director of a company. So the first distinction is the director employee or non-employee. If the director is employee, it will be called as contract of service. If the director is not an employee, contract for service. Okay. Now, if the director is an employee, then they will be covered under employer-employee relationship. The company and the director will be covered by the term called employer-employee relationship, and we have seen that there is no GST for salaries. So whatever be the remuneration that is paid to the employee will take the characteristic of salary, will take the nature of salary. The examples of such directors are the MDs, whole-time directors and executive directors, managing directors, whole-time directors and executive directors. These directors go to the company, corporate office or to the plant, and they work just like how a normal executive will go to the office daily and work and get salary. So their operations will exactly resemble that of an like an employee, typical employee. Now, the non-employees, they are the best example there is independent directors. These independent directors are not so attached with the company, but yes, they will come to the office, they will attend meetings, they will give their input, suggestions, and they will work there. But they don't behave like employees, they behave like consultants. Independent directors will be directors of many other companies as well, but the directors who are employees will be dedicated to that particular group of companies, or in fact that particular company only. An independent director of Asian Paints can also be independent director of some other company, maybe State Bank of India. He can be independent director in like 4 or 5 other companies as well. So the remuneration paid to independent directors will take the nature of supply, because it is not employer-employee relationship. It is like a consultant-client relationship. Therefore, it will be covered under the term supply. And the additional information is, it will not be taxed under forward charge mechanism. It will be charged as per reverse charge mechanism. Therefore, the director need not remit GST to the government. The company that has appointed this independent director, the client company, will remit GST to the government. So that is subsegment number 1. Now let us go to subsegment number 2. The director is an employee. Still there is an exception. He is Mr. A. In this example, he is Mr. A, is our director. He is still an employee of the company. He works for A Limited. So he is the director of A Limited. Now A Limited has a group company called B Limited. Now let us say B Limited is not so great in financial position. So board of directors of A Limited decide to send Mr. A to B Limited to visit the company of B Limited, do some thorough analysis of the company, assess what's right and wrong. So they have asked to perform a consulting activity. Now B Limited is a group company. So whatever the services Mr. A is doing is not going to A Limited, but it is going to B Limited. But the board of directors of A Limited said that, Mr. A, you go and do this service. After you complete the service, you can raise an invoice as a consultant, but you don't raise it to B Limited, you raise it to us, to your own company. We will pay the money to you, but in this particular transaction, in this particular dealing, you will be treated as consultant, and you are not doing this as a capacity of employee. So similarly, Mr. A will go to B Limited, do the service, come back to A Limited, he will give the invoice to A Limited, and he will get the money charged from the company A Limited. So in this situation, he is acting as a consultant and not as an employee, even though he is an official employee as per records of A Limited. For this transaction alone, he is acting as a consultant. Therefore, the supply will be applicable and it will be taxable as per RCM. A need not pay tax. A Limited will pay tax to the government on behalf of Mr. A. So these are the primary subsegments, two subsegments. Now let us go to the third subsegment. The third subsegment is even more interesting. Now there is a director. He can be any director. He can be an independent director or he can be an employee director. But let's say this director has a building, has an official building. Let's say it's a 5-story commercial complex, a huge building. He is the owner of this building. Now inside this building, he has given this building, he has let out this building to the company he is working as a director, A Limited. To this company, he has let out his own building. Now he is also providing service, but this service he is not again providing in the capacity as a director. He is acting like a landlord and providing this service. Therefore, this will be totally outside the scope of directorial services. Now this is like a renting of immovable property. It will come under that type of service. This process of letting out will not be in the capacity as a director or in the capacity as an employee. It will be in the capacity as a landlord. Therefore, whatever the rent that he is charging from A Limited will be treated as supply, but it will not even be treated as reverse charge mechanism. It will be taxed as per forward charge mechanism. So that is with respect to this discussion on remuneration of directors. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you still have any doubts about this.